announce the next 4 tag top 10 winners in a few minutes. But I'm going to tell you for a second here what we're going to do about voting so that you're all aware. A little bit later, we have what's called the People's Choice Awards. How many people have been here before and understand this game? Okay, we're in voting season. You guys aren't excited at all, are you? You know what Super Tuesday is? Okay, I'm the only person in this room that actually helped produce a Super Tuesday set of debates. Bad idea. That's another story. So the way we're going to vote today is very simple. When I come back up again, there's going to be a bit.ly link up on the stage on these pictures, and you're going to get to choose who you want to vote for on 4 different both the top 40 and top 10 categories that we're going to give you a chance to vote on. And then Dennis is going to cook the books the way some of the parties are going to have to do at the end of this election cycle. So we're going to have coolest technology, top 10, most likely to create jobs, top 10, breakthrough technology out of the top 10, most likely to succeed, top 10, best presentation on this stage, top 10, not the one we just did, but something much better, we hope, and then best of show, top 10. And then the last one is out of the top 40 group, all of those displays outside, you choose the best display, okay? So you can vote like this, and like we say in the South, vote early, vote often. No, really, polls won't open until I'm back up here again. You can't do it now. And for those that are really interested in some fun, if you don't want to do it on your phone or your phone's broken out of juice or whatever, if you go out there, Cumberland Group has got a voting station that's in that corner of the outside area. There's 4 different voting stations set up. So we'll see how many of you have to vote out there the old school way and how many of you can do it with your thumbs. So with that, let's introduce the next guest.
Good morning. My name is Eric Becker, and I'm really excited to be here with you today to share a little bit about our company, UrgentNet. The idea for UrgentNet actually came out of Georgia Tech. There was some work being done in the computer science department on how to use federated data models to analyze very large, complex sets of data. And it was actually some insights that we had around how that type of technology could be used and applied to problems in the energy industry that was the impetus for our company. And we've been successful. In the last 3 years, our company has grown from a small core team of folks jammed into a little room down at ATDC to an organization with 150 employees now around the world, all with this focus on energy. So we picked energy both because it's a huge market. In fact, it's second only to healthcare in total spend, but also because we recognized it was a market that was ripe for innovation. There's massive inefficiencies in the way that energy is used, and we recognize that with good data and the right analytics, that we could unlock huge savings opportunities. But as we dug more deeply into this opportunity, we realized that the problem wasn't that there was a lack of analytic tools. Actually, there are plenty of those that are available. There was something much more fundamental going on, and that was that the industry lacked good data. The reason this is a challenge is because due to 3 primary issues that we're facing, the industry around data. The first is that it turns out energy data is massively fragmented. It exists with the utility companies around the world, and there's 27,000 of them. Also, the data is quite complex with really intricate rate and tariff structures. And then finally, we were shocked to discover there were no standards around the way that energy data was shared. So even if you could pull together some of this from these different utility providers, you really couldn't do much with it because they're all fundamentally different data models and different formats. It's a huge mess, and this is the problem that we set out to solve. We did it by building the world's first technology platform to aggregate all this data electronically. We've built connectors to thousands of utilities now. Here in North America, we built nearly 2,700 of them to give us access to 85% of all the utility data. And our platform's rolling out around the world. We're live now in 20 countries in Europe and literally in every region of the world. But most importantly, our data has been useful and impactful for our customers. Our customers are now able to save tens of millions of dollars in energy spend and at the same time reduce carbon emissions, which is of course great for the planet. So this has been successful not only for our customers, but also for our business. We've grown quickly, but we've been mindful all along of the great support we've had from the technology community here in town. From GRA, who provided initial funding for our business, to ATDC, but most especially to the large corporate customers here in town who are our first customers. So we are proud to be from Georgia. We're proud to be part of the technology community here in town, and we thank you for recognizing us here today.
Good morning. So I picked the wrong day to have allergies, but let's go ahead. Alemica. Alemica is a supply chain network, a global supply chain network. So what does that mean? When we talk about supply chains, what are supply chains all about? Supply chains are about getting the right product to the right place at the right time. And when they work, we're all happy. In fact, most of the time, we don't even notice there is a supply chain. When they don't work, we're not happy. In fact, we may even be hungry, or we can even have bigger problems. When supply chains typically break down, they break down because of communication issues. So just like people across the globe speak different languages, so do the giant ERP systems like SAP and Oracle, the systems that really run the global supply chain. They speak different languages as well. They run on different protocols, they exchange different document standards, they can't really sync up and talk to one another. So what does Alemica do to help solve this problem? We provide a platform that enables our customers to quickly and easily connect to thousands of their trading partners. And we do it with a hub and spoke model, a hub and spoke approach. And what that really means is our customers can connect to us one time and they can get access to thousands of their trading partners. They can communicate via different business documents. They can exchange those documents. And that's opposed to the traditional method. The traditional approach has always been to create thousands of these point-to-point connections, and that means thousands of configurations and maps and a lot of grunt work, and it's just not an efficient process. So it's sort of like LinkedIn for enterprises who want to transact as opposed to people. So how do we do this? So we do it, the real key is a universal business document. And that is our technology that acts essentially as a translator between these different ERP systems, because as you remember, they speak different languages. And so essentially, this universal business document is an agnostic, optimized document that's really designed to get a lot of repeatability in the mapping process, in the connection process for the supply chain. All right. So how do we scale this network across the globe? So today we do that with a Scala Akka software stack, and that really enables highly distributed, highly concurrent computing. We run all transactions in memory, and we store all of our transactions in 3 parallel data centers using Amazon S3. So taken together, all of this technology really enables fewer disruptions to the global supply chain. And that means we can get the right product to the right place at the right time. Today, Alemica supports over $500 billion in global commerce on an annual basis. And that's a lot of bread. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mason Beard. I'm from Wellcentive. I am the co-founder and chief product officer. So what does Wellcentive do? Wellcentive is a population health management solutions company that helps increase quality, drive revenue, and transform healthcare organizations to value-based care. Now, everybody that's not in HIT is just, that's a bunch of jumble and jargon that I just threw out and probably confused half the audience. So I wanted to set my presentation up just a little bit differently and pitch the problem in a little bit different way. So across the United States, the purchasers of healthcare, your employers, your commercial plans like Blue Cross, Humana, Cigna, et cetera, the federal government, they're looking at purchasing healthcare through this grid. And currently, they're purchasing it in the bottom quadrant, low quality, high cost. If you bought things on Amazon, that's like buying no stars and a high cost. What WellCentive does is we move and help organizations demonstrate that they are delivering high quality care at a lower cost and a more efficient cost. So how do we do that? And why do we do that? So if you look at across the United States and across the world, the US is expensive and we don't have the best quality. And the last thing is, besides my clicker not responding, is CMS and the commercial plans are doing something about it. They're forcing healthcare organizations and doctors from that lower left quadrant to the top right quadrant, and WellCentive helps them do that with this platform. So we break our innovation up into really 4 A's. We aggregate data. We pull data from across every place a patient receives care in your health system. We analyze that data. We find the patients that need to be focused on, like your diabetic patients with a high hemoglobin A1C, or females between 40 and 65 that need a mammogram, and we're going to measure that and drive actions for care managers and physician extenders for the patients so that we can prove value to the purchasers of healthcare, because the whole systems is moving into something that is, they're requiring value. So who do we do that for? We have clients across the United States that are large healthcare organizations that are moving, and we're on that journey with them from that bottom left quadrant to the top right. And we are driving significant ROI because the whole healthcare system is moving away from fee-for-service, which is paying you to do more things, to demonstrating value. So we've had a lot of great milestones in our 11 years here. Most notably, I would say we had some fantastic venture partners here locally, Nora Mosley in Atlanta, Harbert Venture from Birmingham, and most recently Summit in Boston for a Series B. So fantastic partners throughout this journey. And the next thing I'll say is the industry is recognizing that PHM is a big thing. Went to JP Morgan in January, and we were ranked above all very large name players that are the most trusted source for population health management solution. So with that, thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Guru Rao, CEO of Nevis, an Atlanta-based enterprise mobile software company focused on logistics and transportation. We've been in business for 5 years and seen exponential growth in customer acquisition, revenue, and number of employees. We have a unique approach to enterprise mobility. On the technology front, instead of looking at it from a mobile app-centric view, we created a technology platform that helps us create solutions, making it easier to connect with enterprises. And on the application side, our solutions help customers track and trace anything that moves. On the customer's front, on one end of the spectrum, we have a large agriculture products company tracking their shipments, using our solution, getting real-time visibility, eliminating paper, and getting real-time customer feedback from the field. They are doing this for thousands of drivers, using thousands of drivers and carriers. And on the other end, we have a non-emergency medical transportation company providing transportation visibility to a lot of their members. But the beauty is, all of these customers are working using a single application in our cloud. We have built a sustained ecosystem of hundreds of companies and thousands of drivers in our cloud. But this is just the beginning. Now, if you look at what's going on in the transportation space, on one end, there's a diminishing supply of drivers, and on the other, consumers are expecting anywhere, anytime deliveries. And then there are some new entrants, non-asset owning companies coming in with new business models, some leveraging crowdsourcing. But what is not happening is nobody is talking about crowdsourcing in the context of enterprises. That is where the newest omni-crowd solution, GoGenta, comes into play. If you look at enterprises, they have built a delivery ecosystem over a large number of years, which is hard to replicate. What we provide is our solution helps them not only leverage the crowd, the private crowd that they have built, but also help them augment that with a public crowd. And then for the drivers or the resources, we give them a single application to register, set constraints, and look for any type of work. and then our solution optimizes the work across the entire network and then pushes it down to the execution system, giving real-time visibility to all the stakeholders in the ecosystem, including the end consumer visibility. This is a holistic approach to enterprise crowd management. It is disruptive and going to create a new technology space altogether, forces everyone to think about the crowd differently, and helps the traditional enterprises to compete and succeed in the new delivery and transportation paradigm. Thank you.